We have new evidence proving that the BBC, the Labour Party and the police have been involved in the biggest cover-up of grooming scandals in Oldham. Still nothing in the media, still waiting for them to report what we've been reporting over the last few days. We have discovered more stuff that's been going on a few years ago, a long time ago. More is coming out. So, the BBC, the journalists up in the northwest of England and Manchester, they've been trying to do some sort of investigation about 10 years ago. And somehow, they decided not to do it, not to cover it. And we have a letter that has now been discovered by people who have been involved in those days. So we have Jim McMahon, who's currently the MP, Labour MP for Oldham West. He was, between 2011 and 2016, the leader of the Oldham Council, controlled by the Labour Party. So the BBC, Jim, and now the Greater Manchester Police. Every single one of these groups and individuals have been involved with something that this letter proves. Look at this letter from someone called Kevin from BBC Manchester, I guess, saying that, Dear Jim, this is in 2013, this letter, August 2013. I'm emailing to clear up some confusion about what I've been told that you and your colleagues at the council in Oldham about my involvement in the recent story about exploitation for BBC in Manchester. As you're aware, last month I was passed some information about concerns about private clubs in Oldham and suspicions about CSE taking place inside them. As a responsible journalist, I made inquiries with both you and Greater Manchester Police. Despite contacts in the Asian community confirming to me that there was concern about young people going into these clubs, at the request of Greater Manchester Police and the council, we agreed not to broadcast anything after you told us that knowledge about the activities at these clubs was very limited and you were concerned about tensions in the town ahead of Lee Rigby's funeral. You assured us that this issue wasn't being ignored, that you were monitoring the situation and should actions be taking place, we would be the first people to know. On that basis, I agreed to hold any story on the private clubs for the time being. So this is the letter that we've now found from this guy called Kevin, sent to Councillor Jim McMahon, who was the leader of the Labour Council. Now he's the MP for the same area. Now, Greater Manchester Police, they were concerned about being insensitive. Yeah, maybe some people would get offended from those areas. Really? So you allowed victims to be hurt and damaged long term and forever just because you didn't want to offend people. Again, we said in the previous video that whether you like it or not, people like Tommy and many others, some others obviously, for the past few years have been trying to expose these crises and scandals. They were ignored and they were called crazy and tinfoil hats and, these are just theories. Nothing's happening. There's no cover up and they got into a lot of trouble. Now it's all coming out. Imagine it was finally started to actually talk about this about 5-6 years ago. And then we had now some MPs, as we said previously, like Sarah Champion, who is actually trying to fight against it, start campaigns. But really, what is going on? Has anything changed? Where is the Home Office? Where is Priti Patel? What happened to that report that was supposed to come out by Sajid Javid? They took him ages to actually publish the report and redact it and then completely remove some aspects of it. There's no accountability. And people are still being hurt because the doors to this country are still open. People are still coming in without being properly vetted, and they're still causing trouble and harming our population. It is what it is, but we will be keeping an eye on this story of the last few days. We've been reporting on Oldham and in other areas as well. So subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi and we are the media.